glad to say one of the bigger stories this week is not Donald Trump and his sycophants trying to take over the government. It's the fact that the NFL hired 7 new coaches, and only one was African American, and none of them was Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation about that, man. I just think that's a travesty, honestly. When you're talking about giving guys an opportunity to coach in the NFL, and you see what happened once again, they don't give these guys a chance at all, man. It's really a sad situation, and then they'll have all kind of excuses why it didn't happen, why we didn't put them in the game. I mean, it's sickening, man. But Jeff, I always tell people this about what you said, man. You made a statement that was so profound one day. You said, "Hey, man, they treat the NFL players like they slaves, in terms of slave work,
like gladiators.
Yeah,
like gladiators who were slaves.
Yeah, right. And they don't have no rights to do anything. That's what that's what pretty much we said. They don't have no influence.
Well, they're very, very well paid, but they get hurt. Their brains get damaged. A lot of them, when their NFL careers are over, they can't walk, they can't think, they can't see straight. I mean, and so, yeah, they do get paid. So technically, they're not slaves. They are definitely paid gladiators.
And it's almost like in the Roman, what's that? Those little stadiums, AJC, where the Roman
Coliseums.
The Coliseums, where they used to sit up there in the press box or in they suites and eat their grapes and drink they wine and allow all that stuff to take place, and nothing was said about it, JC?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what we are. But, the players, I still say the players, I mean, in this instance with Eric Bieniemy, the players, they can do something, man. They're not doing anything. They can do something. Particularly the black players. They know what they need to do.
You know what's amazing to me is how they don't look at Eric Bieniemy as favorable. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, because everybody always talk about how the head coach, what's his name, Jimmy, the head coach in Kansas City, what's that guy's name, the head coach?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Everybody want to talk about how Andy Reid is so great and so well respected in that industry. However, they don't treat him like he's well respected and have the power and the juice in that industry because he has no influence to get his guy, Eric Bieniemy, a job. Now, Andy Reid may be the guy calling all the plays, but how do you explain the Detroit Lions hiring a guy who's never been a head coach, who's never been a coordinator, just a position coach, and putting him in a job, and then he comes in this interview talking about breaking knees and we're going to break knees, we're going to bite, we're going to kick and scratch. When we fall down, we're going to bite and get back up. I guess that was one of those win one for the Gipper speeches, but it didn't motivate me at all.
DJ, they would have hired Jim Harbaugh if he was available over an African-American coach.
So, Jeff, this is what I'm going to ask you. And I know we got Maurice Scott. Do we have Maurice Scott on yet?
Not yet.
Michael, okay. I think what's happening, right? This is what I think happened. In this game, Jeff, what has happened when the Black Lives Matter movement and all the players protesting and all the black folks around the country and the various leagues protesting and saying, we're not going to take it. We want justice for the injustices. We want things to take place, parity. We want this, we want that. These rich white owners has taken a position that I don't care what you guys want. I'm going to show you who has the power. And the power is not yours. The power is my power. I'm going to do whatever I want to do and how I do it because guess what, guys? It ain't budging. Now, the guy in Houston who became the head coach, I think he's a black guy, right?
He is. He's 65.
And let me tell you something. I saw the guy on TV. I couldn't tell if he was black or white. I couldn't tell he was black. Have you seen him, Jeff?
No, I have not.
JC, have you seen this guy?
No, I'm not. I'm not seeing the guy that they just hired. No, I have not seen
When
him.
you see him, I saw him on a TV interview.
No, I don't see him.
I had no idea he was a black guy
Mm-hmm.
until they said he was black. When they told me he was black, I was like, oh my God, really? I mean, so he is as close to white without being white as you could possibly be. And that's fine if that's what he wants. That's who the guy they selected. But it's just kind of a travesty, Jeff and JC, that it's hundreds of millions of dollars being made, and the players are getting paid well. However, they don't seem to want black coaches in leadership positions, man. I mean, you can be a position
DJ's
coach.
way worse than that. So the NFL, they are so cynical, and it just makes me sick. They're going to have this young African-American woman, young lady, who's a poet, on for the Super Bowl. And if you watch a lot of the ads they've been running about social justice and the like, to me it feels like, back in the South, they were like the proper banker who, was an upstanding citizen of the community, but then he put on a hood at night so nobody could see the dastardly things he's doing. I mean, what they're really doing in the NFL is has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter or is certainly is equitable or fair or American. But then they run all these TV ads and they bring this young lady who's a poet and they trot her out and act like they're all self-righteous. It's cynical and it drives me nuts.
Well, Jeff, that's a great point, JC. That's a great point he made, because what Jeff is saying, they do all this window dressing with no substance. It's all about non-substance. Throw that out there,
Right.
pretend like they want these guys to benefit. Oh, look here, we got a black poet who's going to be doing her thing. So how can you guys even imagine we're racist or we're separatism? We're about separatism. How can that come out of your mouth? That's what they're saying. And what frustrates me is that the players got the power. Go ahead, JC. Go ahead.
Well, what's even more frustrating is you look at the NBA and then you look at the NFL, and you say, how could they be so far apart in the way that it's structured? In the NBA,
I got Maurice ready.
the players run the league.
No
And I'm just gonna say what it is, DJ. You have more players in the NBA that got balls, man. I'm telling you.
I agree.
It's just what it is.
I agree.
LeBron and them boys, man, they are younger. They are younger.
Yeah.
They're more astute. They keep up with what's going on, and they say what needs to be said, and they're not afraid to say it.
Well, I don't
These
think.
NFL guys, man, it's some different kind of guys,
Yeah,
man.
and I don't think it has nothing to do with the age, because all those guys are probably around the same age in their 20s, most of them. So it's the same thing. Hey man, let's go and change direction. Let's go and get let's go and get our inside report with my man Maury Scott. We scouting with Scotty. What's going on, Maury Scott?
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh man, we doing good. What we got today, big dog?
Listen, man, we're going to keep it right here, what you guys talk about. If you hear some basketballs, I'm at basketball practice. We were able to start basketball practice here in the state of Illinois tonight.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. We're back with my kids. But we're going to stay with the NBA because it's a perfect segue of what you guys were talking about. And you mentioning LeBron James. That was a topic today on First Take. And I want to carry it over. Who do you guys think, and I'm going to tell you who I think, is the pioneer for basketball in the NBA? Is it Michael Jordan or is it LeBron James? And I'm going to say LeBron because just what JC was talking about, you guys are talking about the social awareness that this brother is bringing to the table. He's not afraid to talk. He's not afraid to speak out on social issues. Now, the climate was much different when Michael came out with social media today. But Michael did have the platform around the world to speak out, and he was scared to speak out and take a stand. And I just think, even though Mike has the status, LeBron James is the guy that is making more of an impact in the NBA when it comes to social change and social justice. I want you guys to talk about that because for a long time, Mike was considered the man. Not so much as talking about, but his international acclaim and the way people spent money with him and the clout that he had. They thought that was social. But I think LeBron, when it's all said and done, will make a greater impact than Michael Jordan in the National Basketball Association and around the world.
Well, let me say this. Let me start off first, guys. I'm sitting back in my chair. I normally don't do this. I'm on Facebook and I'm sitting back in my chair, right? Let me say this. Anybody to make any comparison to that butt-licking Michael Jordan, it'd be a disgrace. Michael Jordan did nothing for black folks.
No problems, Kevin.
So Uncle Tom really was a guy that he really was fighting. Yeah, he was informing the slaves and all those people. So we're right about that. So I'm sorry, Maurice. Go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing. I just think that with today's society, I just appreciate that LeBron James and others like him who aren't afraid to speak out on social justice and social issues. And I think if more of us are not won't be afraid to speak out, the more respect we'll get as far as our culture and black athletes are concerned as a whole. Because in any sport right now, I really think that they still consider us servants and people are entertainers. And I just really appreciate LeBron not getting in any trouble, hasn't been involved in any scandals. He's a family man, yet not afraid to speak out. And I just think that's just very important.
I agree with you 100%. And before you go, Maurice, real quickly, touch on you touched on the two greatest impact college basketball coaches that died, and John Chaney just passed over the weekend, and John Thompson passed a few months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys both required discipline. I remember when the late John Thompson died, Allen Iverson said at his funeral that I just wish I could hear him call me an MF again in practice. I remember and Don Chaney, Bruiser Flint, and others talked about how much of an impact he had on them when he used to have the 5 a.m. practices. And it wasn't about basketball. It was about the game of life with these guys. And I just hope that the Juwan Howards and some of the other young black coaches will pick up where these two icons left off. And because they never got their just due while they were alive, and we're hearing all these accolades now. And we got to learn to appreciate our black icons while they're living. Dean Smith, Mike Krzyzewski, and all these coaches, they certainly, Bob Knight, they certainly have given the white folks make sure that they get theirs. We got to start taking care of ours and make sure we talk about our black icons.
Mo Scott, I really appreciate it, man. Scouting with Scott, we look forward to talking to you next week, my man. The big fella, the coach,
Thank you for having me.
And the Hurricane. We'll be right back.
Visit Central Park Deli today and receive 10% off any purchase when ordering.
Take care of your family.
I'm saying
and I'm looking at history in terms of what has changed.
Let me ask you a question, man. How many laws have truly benefited us? That we got the maximum opportunity to benefit black folks.
We are 910 AM Superstation.
Time to call that number. You got to call the number now.
I got him calling now.
Great, let's go. Oh, welcome back to the Demetrious Johnson, the big fella riding high with the hurricane and the coach. Hey, y'all, guess who I got, man? I'm so pumped up about this opportunity, man. I got my man. I mean, a movie star, good-looking dude. You know, the thing that makes me mad about the guy, he's in shape. He looks all good and all that good stuff. My man, Michael Jai White. What up, Mike?
Hold on 1 second, D.
Oh, you going to bring him in?
Yeah, I'll bring him in for you. Hold on.
All right. Michael Jai, you there, buddy? I'm seeing him. I see. Hey, folks, I see Michael Jai White on our cam, our video, and all that good stuff. Do we have him yet, Michael?
Yeah, he's on.
Hey, Michael, what's up, man?
What's happening, Captain?
How you doing, big dog?
Things are well.
Hey, man, you know what? I got to say this to you, man. I'm kind of still jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? Because you still look good. You're all pumped up. Because you're pumped up and you're all in shape, looking all good. How have you been, man?
Man, you look good, man.
Hey, man.
You look good. Check you out.
Hey, man, it's been a minute since we seen one another.
Where your wrinkles is?
Hey, you know what I did, right? I just faked it all out. I'm putting on some of that makeup and whatever they tell me to do. How you been, man?
Things are well, man. Things are very well.
Now, Michael Jai, man, you're one of the best actors that I know, man, and you're so involved in a lot of stuff. Tell everybody, Mike, what you got going on now. What Michael Jai White got going on?
Well, I mean, I got about 6 movies coming out. I'm actually doing a lot more of my own stuff, producing my own stuff, and some things I'm pretty excited about. That folks have been waiting to see. So this is going to be a good year.
So when you talk about acting, man, what is your favorite movie? I'd like to know. I know what mine is with you. What is your favorite movie?
Well, I got to say, it's got to be Black Dynamite so far because.
Oh, wow.
Because that came out of I wrote that.
Got you. It
was something that came to mind, and then other things, you got everybody, all kinds of departments making you look good, right? So, I can't take credit for other things where you got a makeup department, you got all these different things, but when you create the whole movie, you take a chance. You go, well, I think this is funny. I wonder if other people do too, and so, it's very rewarding putting all of that into it and have people like it. So that's my favorite.
Now you're going to think I'm kind of strange. Let me tell you what one of my favorites is, Spawn. When you play in Spawn, that's kind of weird, but that's kind of my favorite movie with you, man.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of people's favorite, but in the same token, people, man, I love Spawn, man. My favorite is that cape.
Right.
People, right, I'm like, well, thank you.
Right. I am telling you, man, Spawn was my movie. And then you know what? Why Did I Get Married was great. Oh, that was great.
Oh, that was fun, man. That was fun. Getting to work with folks, man. So, yeah, I'm in a great business. You get a lot of fun in this business.
So we speak with actor Michael Jai White, is a friend of mine, and I'd always do this every time I talk to you. I want to always thank you for coming in town to be a part of raising money for my foundation to help kids in the community. Michael Jai, tell everybody why it's important for you. You're a celebrity, but you're a positive black man. Talk about how important it is in Black History Month of us realizing our strength as black men and giving back to that community.
Well, you know how important I think it is because I was saved because somebody came to my community and shared some words with me. It changed my life. So that's why even when we first met,
initially, I was coming down for the golf thing, right?
Right.
But you know, you allowed me to organize a whole interaction with the community.
Yeah.
Which wasn't part of the program.
Right.
But that's what made me, really love you, because you got behind that, and we went right into the community, and I did that martial art demonstration and everything else.
Yes.
And I know
Yes.
you guys were a little bit worried because it was a rough
right.
area.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is what really matters, and for me, I was one of those rough kids, and so wherever I go, I got to reach out to the depth. I got to reach out to the at-risk folks, like it was for me, because I feel like I've been spared for a reason. I'm lucky that somebody came into my community, and I paid a little bit of attention to what that man had to say, and it changed my life. So, that's one of my primary sources. That's one of my primary responsibilities, I feel.
Hey, Mike, I got my co-hosts, Jeff and JC. Jeff, you got a question for Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, you played Mike Tyson in an HBO movie. I'm curious how you prepared for the role, and what do you think about the guy?
Well, what's funny is that there were so many parallels between Mike Tyson and myself. I didn't realize that till I got into knowing more about his background. So it's kind of like I was born to play that role. I mean, you had two guys who, by the time they were 15, were full grown, size of grown men, and fighting men in the ring. I was doing the same thing, in martial arts. But what that does to a kid's psyche at that time, to be endowed with that much power that early on, is something that, I feel like, wow, man, I'm glad I played this so I could play it with, some honesty and just authenticity, So really, we were so similar that a lot of what I was playing was from my experience. Because I had the worst temper in the world. And I felt like I really understood it.
Speaking with the actor Michael Jai White. JC, go ahead, man.
Yeah. Mike, talk about the industry now. You look at Tyler Perry, and you even talk about beginning to do your own stuff. Talk about how hard it is for the black man, to really make his mark in Hollywood, man, and begin to do his own stuff. How difficult is that?
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't want to ever phrase it in the terms of difficulty. I want to frame it in the terms that it is the best time to ever be able to do that. It is like we've never had this kind of opportunity that we can reach millions of people without there being somebody guarding the gate. So Tyler has exposed that he can service his community and be quite successful, and that's showing how viable and valuable the community is. So he's exposed the fact that we all, if we work on our content, there's a way to reach us all. And like I said, it's a time where we don't have to really ask the gatekeepers. That's what I'm doing now. It's about learning the game. I've learned that this is a worldwide, global game. And the reason why I still have a career is because my movies sell overseas, right? A lot of our movies sell overseas, but we don't know it.
Oh, wow.
Because we sometimes the problem is we keep thinking of things just from a domestic perspective, and we don't realize that, man, there's there's people, the way that these studios have been making money is, they're selling things all over in Brazil and in India and all these places.
Oh, wow.
You realize India is the largest, the biggest English-speaking country in the world?
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Wow. Did you guys know that, Jeff?
It's the biggest English-speaking country in the world.
No, I didn't know.
Not us. India is. A billion people speak English, primary language.
Wow.
I mean, so, and like, because when I started doing movies abroad in Eastern Europe and all this, and I would go out and get mobbed, and people were going, "Oh, Michael Jai White," pronouncing my middle name correctly. I was like, what is going on here?
Wow.
Well, the fact is, my movies were selling like crazy over there. But, hey, how was I going to know?
Wow.
You know, it's tricky. You know, my movies were selling in China. I did Undisputed too, right?
Right.
But dig this. In China, they renamed the movie.
Really?
It was called Negroes of the Iron House.
No. What was the movie's name here in the States? What was
Undisputed.
Undisputed, and they call it Negroes of the State?
Of the Iron House.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Just like when Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames first did the first movie, they basically described what they were saying. They said these Negroes in an iron house.
Wow.
But check this out. It's a game. You may have a movie that you did in the States, and you're tracking the proceeds of that movie, but France could call it a different movie.
Wow.
You know, it ain't called Black Dynamite in France.
What's it called?
It's a curse. You know, I don't know if we beeped out.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, wow.
Yes. And so that's a trick for you, because it's like, oh, have you heard of this movie in your country? No. But they've heard it by something else.
Wow. Is that the way to protect it, but you don't get paid?
We grew up with a movie called Chinese Connection, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't called Chinese Connection. It wasn't called Chinese Connection in other countries.
Wow.
It's called The Big Boss.
Wow.
And even Return of the Dragon.
Wow.
That was like, so it's you know, the game is deep.
So how?
So yeah.
How? Let me ask you this: how do you guys monitor where you can get your royalties from the movies in the other country? If they change in the name, what do you do when you find out that's your movie?
Well, see, what it is that the producers, they're the ones making those deals.
Oh,
you know, you can't find out.
Gotcha. Wow.
And now I think it's a bit different. But see, that's the thing. That was the game. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take your movie for this amount of money, and not let you know I'm going to sell this movie to Brazil, Russia, all these other places, and make a lot of money off it. And so I knew what the game was, and I knew I was getting, you know, I was getting gypped. I knew that. But what they were doing was they were putting my product in all these other countries. My move was to, you know, let them keep doing that until I'm producing my own movies.
Wow.
Now I got connections with all these other people around the world.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, keep going on, go on, do what you do. Because if I say, no, I ain't doing that because you're making all this money off of me, where would I be?
I got you.
They go, oh, you caught me. So let's do this movie with somebody else. But so, you know, basically, you know, you deal in my product all over the world. So you're paving the way for me to deal my product after you.
We're speaking with actor Michael Jai White. I mean, this guy is an awesome guy. You know, Michael, a lot of people sometimes. Jeff, I know you got a question. Go ahead, Jeff. I'll come back with Michael. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah. So I'm just related to this topic. your movies sell, particularly those that have race at the center of them, do they sell better internationally than domestically?
Most of my movies don't have race at the center of them. I don't know which movie that you could be thinking about, but a lot of my movies like Blood and Bone and Falcon Rising, a lot of the movies I tend to do, even some of the ones that do really good in Eastern Europe, I have a movie called The Hard Way. All these movies, they have nothing to do with race whatsoever. They're action movies that I happen to be the lead in. So it's not. There's this misconception. It's actually a lie. But they say, oh, black movies don't sell overseas. They don't sell overseas in the same way that white movies don't sell overseas. The thing that they're negating, there's a word that they're leaving out, is action. Action movies sell all over the world, right? Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as a black action movie that doesn't sell overseas. That's the truth. Well, see, it's like this. In other countries, in France and Brazil, all these different places, right? They don't need our comedians or our dramatic actors. They need our action movies. That's what they buy.
Wow.
So a lot of times you'll be surprised that our actors who are household names that just do dramas, they have no idea who they are in other countries. Think about it like this. Who do we know from China? Jackie Chan,
right.
Jet Li.
Yep. Bruce Lee.
Donnie Yen, maybe.
Right.
Bruce Lee, right. Who do we know from Belgium? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep.
Well, how come we can't name another dramatic actor or comedian from China? We can't, because we got our own comedians. We got our own dramatic actors, right? But it's action that sells all over the world. So, yeah, if they say black movies don't sell, well, if you're doing Star Wars, which is not a black movie, it's an action movie, well, anybody in that movie is, that's what they're thinking about. Horror sells all over the world too, but, and that really doesn't have a color. So when they're saying black movies don't sell, well, if the majority of our movies are romantic comedies or, hood movies, something like that, well, and the majority of white movies are romantic comedies and neighborhood movies or whatever, those don't sell either. It's all equal. It's the same. So it's just like that black on black crime. It's how they phrase it. Like you didn't never hear white on white crime, although more white people kill other white people, more black people kill other black people, more Asians kill other Asians, and you don't hear it that way. But with us, it's framed differently.
Gotcha.
So it's all about just this packaging, and a lot of people wanted to believe that black movies don't sell overseas. Yeah, well, what about Wesley Snipes? Look at all the movies that he did. But he was one of the only people doing action.
Right.
And then I'm doing action, and my stuff sells overseas. So
let me ask you this, Michael.
Add that to it.
But let me ask you this question, Mike. Why isn't it that more action black actors like yourself and Wesley Snipes? Is it something that they don't encourage the black actor to do, or is it something that the black actor just don't want to do? I think
we got to get rid of that they. It's not a they in it. It's we.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with that. Honest to God, yeah, it's got nothing to do with a they. If we did more action movies, we'd sell, more places. But that's kind of commensurate for everything. There's not that many people that do action, and there's not a whole lot of people. See, a lot of times in Hollywood, they try to make somebody who is a non-action person into an action person. Well, that might sell a little bit in the United States, but when you're competing all around the world, you're compared to all the action people all around the world. So a lot of times that doesn't sell very, very well globally because, true global action people can do what they're set to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're it's like the demand is kind of up there. It's the action is not created in the editing room. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why you don't see as many action people because in United States movies, we have action movies that are so expensive that they force it down your throat. Of course, the Marvel movies and things like that, those are monsters. So not many people can compete with those things. They spend so much money. So you're not going to see that kind of spectacle anywhere else. But it just, we haven't been, since the 70s, very keen on the action kind of element. It's just the way it happens to be. It's really nothing other than that. We just haven't been focused on making a lot of action movies.
Speaking with actor Michael Jai White, very good friend of mine. Mike, I know we run out a little time, but let me ask you this question. What would be your words of wisdom to young black men who's trying to get into the acting arena? What would you tell them they need to do?
Well, I would encourage them to learn the entire business, in front of the camera and behind the camera. The more you learn as a producer or director or writer, the better actor you'll be, the better director you'll be. Sometimes people just think about it just from that one perspective. I think you should learn the entire business. It's called show business for a reason. And I would just hope people are not doing it for the wrong reason. There's got to be something that, you would feel like you do for free. A lot of times you will be working your way up there.
I know that's right.
And you're competing against, you're competing against people that will give their left arm for, the opportunity. So hopefully it's something that you love and you're not in love with the thought of being, famous and, flexing your power and things like that, because that's really not what it's about. That's a byproduct, but hopefully people really feel deep down that they really want to learn this industry and want to be great in this business and know what contribution they have and what makes them, special. So if you do that, if you have that frame of mind, then you won already. It ain't a matter of getting casted. You're following your heart. You're following what you want to do for a living, and you're following your dreams. So not many people get a chance to do that. So you're already a winner.
Michael Jai, last question before we let you go, man. What is your next project that's coming that I can go and see, everybody can go and see, and how can they follow Michael Jai White?
Man, there's so many things that, because of this COVID thing, we coming out now. We coming out.
Right.
It's like they switch it up. I think the next thing, and I think the trailer started today, but I'm a supporting character, and it's Assault on VA-33. Then I got a movie with my wife, who's the star of it, called Take Back.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. I think that comes out in a couple months.
And then, Mike, last question. I keep saying last question. This is it before we go to break. Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson was a great actress. What impact, I know you guys may not know one another personally, but the impact of a Cicely Tyson in that acting world for black women and black men, how critical was that?
Boy, she was such an inspiration. I got a chance to work with her on Why Did I Get Married Too. She was she's just royalty. But I would see her, of all places. There's a place out here around the Santa Monica area that everybody knows is the Santa Monica Stairs, where everybody goes and works out. And it's these long staircases that, boy, it wears you out. And let me tell you, that's where I used to see her. She used to go up those stairs. Wow. She used to work out there. I mean, it's been a few years since I've seen her there, but oh my goodness, like that was something else to see her do that, and just the love that she would get from people who would see her there, man. She was amazing.
Well, Michael Jai, if they want to follow you and see you, what information? What's your Instagram or Facebook? What you got?
I'm official Michael Jai on Instagram, and just hashtag Michael Jai White everywhere else.
Hey, man, let me tell you something, big boss. I appreciate our friendship over the years. You've always had my back, man, and I love you for that, man. And you came in our community and you touched these kids, showing them the martial arts. And folks, he really is a martial art expert when he was getting down here when he came and did that for me. But Michael Jai, man, I'm thankful. And you are my first black guest on Black History Month because I want to reflect on positive black men who's doing the right thing and uplifting our community. Michael Jai, you've been there for a long time, and I truly, truly appreciate our friendship, my man.
Thank you, brother, man. Love you, too. Hope to talk to you soon.
Okay, Michael Jai. That's my man, Michael Jai White. I love that dude, man. I am telling you, you talking about a good guy, Michael Jai White is a great guy, folks. He is, oh, my goodness. Jimmy, awesome. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Love the dude.
Man, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, DJ, he's done some great work, man.
Yes.
And he's worked with Mel Gibson. He's been in some heavy hitter action films, man. He really has, man. He's a heavy hitter, man. He's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, I mean, it was just great to be able to get him on, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, throughout the month, we're gonna just try to feature, folks in the community, local community, national guests we know, our friends that come on and talk about, their impact in the movies and things they're doing, just to show black folks in positive light, because a lot of times people don't want to show us in a positive light, but it's our job to uplift our community and do like everybody else do in their communities. Respect and love the people that's in our community. So I'm telling you, he's a good dude, man, and he's a straight up big time martial arts guy. When I had him in town, he was showing them kids the martial arts. I didn't.
Yeah, he was in shape too.
Oh my God, hey Jeff, you're talking about shape? That guy is in some major shape, man. Major.
Yeah, I'm just dumbfounded about one thing, and that is, how is a famous guy like him hanging around a guy like you?
You know what, man? This fool always got something to say. I mean, this fool always got something to say. And I think your boy Pianki liked that, right? Pianki on Facebook, he liked that. Oh, my God. I tell you, man, Jeff Frankfurt, he... Yeah, Coach.
And he was around when we first started the whole thing, the whole hoops and huddles. Remember?
Yeah, he came in.
He was around at the very beginning when we was doing the celebrity basketball game. He came in, man. We had some. We had some great folks, Jeff.
Yeah, we did.
Man.
We had everybody coming in, man. Shamar Moore, Michael Jai White. I had all the guys coming. And I got to tell y'all a story. Hey, Michael, we about to go to break.
You got about 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
All right. Well, so let me tell y'all this story. What up, Solo? Let me tell y'all this story, man. All right, so Michael Jai came in town. He was being a part of our whole celebrity stuff, and for whatever reason, I left him. I left over somewhere and went somewhere else and was talking to some other people, and I left. Man, I came back, man. The dude, he was about to leave. In fact, he was leaving. He was going to the airport. And he left a note at the front desk for me. I'll never forget this. And he said, hey, man, I came in town to support you and these kids in this community. I didn't come in town for you to abandon me and act like I wasn't here, man. He said, come on, man. I'll never forget that. I had to call him up and say, Michael, man, I apologize. I was running doing something else. But you talking about just a good dude? I mean, Jeff. He was a good dude.
DJ, it is really unusual for an A-lister to hang out with a no-lister. So how did you meet the
guy? Oh, hold on.
Oh my God.
Oh man. This dude right here, man. This dude right here is something else, man. I have no idea what this cat is on, man. Oh, man, you are on something, Jeff. But let me just tell you this, Jeff. It's my personality that everybody likes, man. That's what it is, Jeff Rankford. See, you can only go one way, and that's being a jerk off. See, nobody like you. I'm the only coach, and I are the only ones like you. And your wife don't like you all the time. She like you sometimes. So that's the deal. That is the deal, Jeff.
All right. So anyway, how did you meet this famous guy who at least he liked you enough to come on the show tonight? How did you meet him?
Well, Michael Jai, I met him through a very good friend of mine named Tina Gomes. And Tina was big. It's big time, still out in L.A. right now. She works with a lot of the celebrities and affluent people, and me and her were really good friends. And she said, hey, man, I know you're doing things in the community back there. I would like to help you. I'll bring some of my friends in and start introducing you to a lot of my good friends so they can be a part of you. So guess what? She got them all, man. Let me tell you, hey, guys, we're gonna go back to our regular conversation in a minute after our break. But let me tell you who was the craziest cat to work with. Alfonso Ribeira from the Fresh Prince. He was off the freaking charts, dude. I'm telling you, he wasn't a bad dude or anything, but he was wild. You know, say crazy stuff. I mean, somebody grabbed him at one of the little clubs we were at. He turned around and said, "Don't you ever put your hands on me again? I'm gonna knock you out." I'm being polite. The words I'm saying. I am telling you, he was probably the wildest. And the group guy. What's the group? The two brothers, Crazy Legs. What they call it, dude? The Crazy Legs. What is that group?
Yeah.
Not one guy. What was their name? They were brothers. And they were really good performers.
Not the Whalens.
Well, we had Guy, remember?
Yeah, we had Guy come in. What in the hell you talking about the Whalens, man? You lost your mind, dude. So, I mean, we had Jeff. I'm telling you, myself to be blessed enough to foster great relationships, and I can call guys and say, man, I'd like to introduce you in Detroit, and the Detroit market would love to hear from a person like you, Michael Jai. Would you come on? Man, hey, man, no hesitation. And some of the folks had privilege to see him on Facebook also while he was talking live on the radio. So you saw the guy. He's still in shape, still look good. But you know what? I think the big fella may have him a little bit. I think the big fella may have him. That's why I had him on that.
Have him on what?
On looks, man. I mean, we go mano y mano, baby. Mano y mano. All right. Mano me mano, Moj. Mano y mano. Hey, man, look, we're going to get back down to business. We're going to talk some real stuff. We're going to talk about some real tough issues coming back. What's happening in our community, communities all over the country. That's what's happening. Black History Month, we need to treat it like that. The big fella, the coach, and the hurricane, holler at your boys, 313-778-7600. We come back, we're going to go to work.
Shady Auto Sales, how can I help you?
I need a car today, but I'm letting you know right now, my credit is not.
Okay, you got one caller on the line.
$800-688
with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
Demetrious Johnson. Hey, check this out. There's black folks that live in this country feel they still are in slavery, how they've been treated. When they dummy down education, when they take the resources out of your school system, when they redline you where you can't get loans, where you can't get a meaningful job to take care of your family.
I'm saying, and I'm looking at history in terms of what has changed.
Let me ask you a question, man. How many laws have truly benefited us? That we got the maximum opportunity to benefit black folks.
We are 910 AM Superstation. WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit. 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media.
Welcome back to the Demetrious Johnson Show, the big fella hiding and riding and doing this thing with the coach and the hurricane. Hey, man, before we go to the phone line, I know we got my man Marathon. Before we go to the phone line, I want to talk about some of this violence that's going on in all these inner cities, St. Louis, Detroit, Chicago, Illinois. I mean, it is just miserable of all this killing that's going on, man, and nobody's doing nothing about it, and I'm really, really disappointed. But before we get down to that, let me go and get these callers. They've been on hold for a long time. Let me bring in my man, Marathon. Hey, what's up, Marathon? Do we have my man Marathon there?
Yeah, line's still connected. We can put him on hold and go to James.
Yo, let's put him on hold. Let's go and go to my man James. What up, James?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I had another topic I want to talk about, but I'll put
Let's
it
go.
off to
No. Let's go. We can go. Let's go.
Okay, I told you last week about the deers. Man, you ain't gonna. I filmed some of them yesterday morning. Hold on now. 5 of them walked right across in front of me in the snow, and they just went right onto the vacant house. And it's like I can read his mind. And I know you're not gonna believe that deer looked at me and said, James, our lives don't matter. We've been telling y'all they've been killing us for years. So now we done moved into the hood with you guys, so we feel more safer because they want to kill you all and not us.
Wow. Oh, Jay, that's profound, man.
You got to see these big deers. They living in vacant houses.
Oh, deers is living in houses, man.
Vacant houses.
Deers are walking up the steps, going in and living in a house, James.
You got to look at the house. Some houses don't even have a roof. I mean, you got to look at these houses. You wouldn't believe it. We've been trying to get you to come here. So you don't come in the summertime. They've been going to tow the houses down because they know we talking about it. You got to see it to believe. Garbage, just like garbage everywhere. And there may be 2 houses being occupied on the whole block. And I'm going to tell you, I filmed one of them going around a brand new church about 3 years old. Now, them deers, they won't go around that church because they telling us that's where we messed up at. We messed up going to the black Christian church. Them deers won't go around that church. They would not go.
Hey, hold on, James. I'm going to take up for the church tonight. I'm going to tell you why. Let me see where I can find this thing at. There's a church, a mega church. Let me find out exactly where it's at. I'm looking for it right now. It was a mega church. It's called Relentless, I believe, Relentless Church. And it's located in Carolina, right? I can't remember which part of Carolina. South Carolina. So you always want to beat up the church, you and my man, Fidel. But let me tell you what they did, what you can appreciate. The church, the pastor at the church, you know those big containers they send around for people to put money in, right? In the what do you call it, JC? The baskets. What do you call those? The worship baskets. That's what they call them.
The offering, collection basket.
All right,
offering basket.
There you go. Offering collection baskets. Okay, I want you and Jeff.
Collection offering basket. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want y'all to hear this. There was a church, Relentless Church, I believe the name of it was, in South Carolina, guys. The pastor had this the big old bucket and passed it around to the church, right? For money. All right? But he had money in the basket. It was $30,000 in there. He passed it around and told the members, be fair, be honest, but take what you need to help your family. Now, what do you got to say about that? And that's the Christian church. I want to hear your response to that. Would you, hold on, with the Muslims, with the Muslim church, no, I'm not, the Muslim mosques, would they give a basket of money and pass it around and say, take what you want? I don't know. I'm not saying they will, they won't. So I don't want nobody thinking I'm going against them. I don't know. I'm asking that question.
Well, the mega church is not the problem anymore. It's these small churches. We have 4,000 churches in the city of Detroit, and neither one of them, you can't get over 5 on as a mega church. It's the smaller church that wants to be a mega church is what's killing poor black America. It's the small church. How do you lose a black city? The black church. It's not the mega church. These guys want to be a mega church. So to become one, you have to mess over your people. This is what you have to do. Now, if we want to tell the truth, tell it. Back in the 60s, the church was for the people. Look at them now. Ask every pastor in the city of Detroit, how did we lose the city of Detroit? It's one thing for sure. Whatever that white man takes, he never gives it back. They'll never get the city of Detroit back. And that's guaranteed. I put up $100 to a Canadian pop bottle with no pop in it. You're not going to get it back. God. Name one thing he took that he gave back. Name one thing that white man took from blacks that they gave back. I'm going to tell you, your life don't count. It should count. But the reason why black lives don't count, we don't talk about black issues.
Hey, DJ, you got 3 more callers.
Thank you.
Oh, we have Donald Trump. No, let's talk about the killing in Detroit. Like you said, the killing in St. Louis. This is why we can't get nothing done for us. Somebody that look like us wants to keep talking about Donald ever got together that did one thing that made sense. They never have, because we the only race sell out our people. We the only race. Only race sell our people.
But I think other races have sold some people out too. I mean, we ain't the only one that's been Benedict Arnold's now. Benedict Arnold, well, who was Benedict Arnold, right? You know, okay.
Well, Benedict Arnold was a white American general.
There you go. So Benedict Arnold sold people out the river now. So let's not act like we the only ones doing it now. Every race does it. Every race does it. Now we may not do. They may not do it at the alarming rate we do it, but they do it.
Right. But we the only race that have more problems than any race on this earth.
Well, we the only race in this earth that don't have no. We don't have no leverage. We don't have no wealth. We don't have no laws that benefit us. We don't have nothing.
When Dr. King died, no other leader had a dream. They don't dream no more. They don't dream. They just.
But hold on. Time out now. Time out. Y'all would consider. Hold on. Y'all would beat up on Fidel would beat up on Dr. King, saying, hey, in other words, Dr. King was too passive.
No.
Yeah. Hey, JC?
No, I'm not beating
JC? Am I wrong, JC? Fidel.
But Big Dog, I'm not beating up on King. Never. I said when King died, that's when the dream died. No other leader come along after King. How many leaders right now tell you they had a dream? They always talk about King this. This is why the black race can never get nothing done.
But Fidel said the King. But Fidel, and I know he'll call in and speak for himself, but Fidel says the King wasn't the right kind of leader.
Exactly.
Well, but hold on. He was a leader, but you have to switch. But Fidel always say, try something different. When it don't work, now let's try Malcolm X. That's all we say. Try Malcolm X. I'm going to tell you why. You have to try it. Because when have our neighborhoods ever changed for the better? Never have. I know you don't believe it. There's deer living in these neighborhoods.
I ain't never seen no deer walking in the damn ghetto.
Okay, I'll tell you what you do.
What? You send me that video. Before we go off, we're going to get your information. I'm going to call you. You send me the freaking video of the deers walking in the damn ghetto, walking in vacant houses. I want to see that.
This is what I want you to do. You get a P.O. box. I'm going to send you all the pictures.
Okay.
I'm going to send you all the pictures to a P.O. box.
Okay. All right.
That's what you do. Oh, I need you to do me one favor.
What's
your
that?
man you had on last week with his own radio show?
Yes.
The brother you had on? Hey, can you give out his talk show number or the station I can listen to?
Which one's he talking about, JC? Who do we have on? I can't even remember. Who do we have on last week, JC?
You talking about Blind City?
Oh, my man, Blind City, the podcast.
You talking about Blind City, the podcast?
Yeah, Blind City, the podcast. Go to YouTube channel and pull up Blind City, the podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah, Blind City, the podcast. He is the real freaking deal. The real deal.
He don't have a call-in number, do you? Like a talk?
He may have one. I think he may have one. I don't have it, but you know what? I'll get him on tomorrow, and he can tell us all that information. But I'll do that, James.
Okay, give me that P.O. box tomorrow.
All right, I'll do that, big man. Have a wonderful day, man.
Okay, bye.
All righty. Who we got next, man?
Fidel.
Uh-oh. Let's bring him on. Bring my man Fidel on. Let's go.
Hey, my brothers, how y'all doing?
What up, Fidel?
Hey, listen, man, it's black on black crime. Hey, bro, that's something that each generation we fall short. Now that I'm a little older, that's my bad. The things that occurred in the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, that's all the young generation is doing. We got to lead by example. We can't sit up here and say, well, I killed, I murdered, I raped, and I went to jail, and I learned from my mistake, and then tell the young generation don't do that. They're not going to accept that. We got to lead by example. So me, as almost being 50, I will say that's my fault. I played my part of it in it, and I don't know, big fella, it just out of hand, and it's too far gone. But I got a quick story for you, gentlemen.
Let's go.
There was a young lady here in Detroit. She got 2 babies. There was another lady here that owned a home, and her main thing was she would take in any woman off the street that had kids to get them out here. We get some brutal winters here. I'm going to speed this up. Make a long story short, the home wasn't in the best condition, y'all. In fact, the home had a hole in it, and the lady covered the hole up, and the mother was gone at the time. The lady had to get ready and go to work. She called the mama. The mama said, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And the lady said, well, in order for me not to be late, I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to have to leave these kids here for 5 minutes. Somehow, some way, DJ, the kids then pushed the board, whatever was holding it down, and opened the part up where the floor at. A little girl fell to the basement. Guess what was in the basement, DJ?
What's that?
Water filled up to your knees with feces.
Oh, my God.
She died in feces water. Guess what our black Christian prosecutor, I'm talking about clean, innocent, pure, fair, she gave the mama time, she gave the landlord, the woman that owned the home time, prison time. I say all this to say this, that same black woman couldn't find nothing wrong with the white mayor, the white governor in Flint. These 2 young ladies, because they poor, one doing a person a favor, the other lady just poor, accidentally her child off to a hole, and she can't find nothing wrong with the white governor that switched the water from Detroit to Flint, and GM said it's corroding our parts. They knew about this. And when you say black on black crime, we got to hit it off. Black on black crime, your black prosecutor, your black chief of police will send your butt to jail. They was running a scam down there. DJ, you can have a court case. You go down there, you innocent as all day long, got all these charges on them. The prosecutor saying, look here, you don't take these charges, we're going to give you life. We're going to give you 30 years. We're going to give you 15 years. The judge busted them out. And these majority of black people doing this to black people. So they create this environment. They keep it's hell on top of here. You got one part of the street you got to beat, and then you got to beat them down there I'm not going to even touch the Christian church today because sometimes it just gets too ridiculous. You just have to leave it well enough alone. But, DJ, don't you find that kind of funny that she can send 2 black women to jail for something accidentally, but can't find nothing wrong with the white governor?
Well, let me say this. Hey, JC and Jeff, y'all want to chime in on this one?
Well, the only thing I can say about the white governor is he was charged with felonies recently, so somebody's holding him accountable. Maybe she wasn't, but somebody is.
Okay, JC?
Yeah, I want Fidel said something. He said something about the black police chief. I want to ask Fidel. I got a question for Fidel. I saw him on Fox News not too long ago. What's your impressions of him, Fidel, the black chief there in Detroit?
Yes, sir. Listen, Jeff, the charges that is brought on him, when you read the guideline, he'll pay a simple fine, probation, no jail time. So the brother just asked me about his chief of police. I'm going to put it to you like this. If Jeff commits a crime, well, we're going to see it all the way through. We're going to do everything by the books, make sure this man gets a fair trial. Me and you do a crime, these thugs, classless. We just need them out of our society. I hope they throw away a key. Now, this is not Fidel talking. This is what he'll go on national TV and say, anybody come behind me would tell you he has did this several times. So the facts are the facts.
All right, well, let me ask you this question, Fidel.
Hey, DJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm actually going to kind of disagree with that in
a
way. It depends on who the victim is, right? So I actually was on a jury, and it was a black man accused of assaulting a black woman, and the black woman was poor, right? Probably, to just be honest about it, didn't put on such a great appearance. And because of that, the cops couldn't give 2 rats you-know-what about what happened to her. She was hurt bad, permanent brain damage, and I think she lost the sight in one eye. I'm on the jury, and I'm seeing the prosecution's case, and it's crap because the first time the cops went to the crime scene was a month after the crime occurred because they didn't give 2 rips about this black woman. And then, I don't know about Detroit, but St. Louis has had 14 children murdered in the last few years, and they have not solved a single one. And I've said it before, if there were 14 white children who were murdered, they'd have solved them all. So the idea that we got this industrial machine that is locking people up only depends on who the victim is. And that's just reality.
Fidel?
Jeff, that made absolutely no sense, Jeff. Jeff, Eric killed the woman for knocking on her doorstep. Just went to the door, seen it was a black girl, started shooting. They gave him $50,000, 10%. I was accused of having a gun. Never had a gun. $50,000, no 10%. He was able to get out on bond, live his normal life, and take care of his business. I had to sit my black behind in jail for 8 months, lost everything. So, of course, you'll disagree with it, Jeff. You're a white man in America.
That's a weak argument. To say that your best argument is I'm a white guy, that's your best argument? Come on. I mean, let me ask you this. What is the solve rate? Hold on. What is the percentage?
Hey, Fidel, let him talk, Fidel. Let him talk, and I'm going to let you come in. I'm going to let him. Go ahead, Jeff.
What is the percentage of murders in 2020 in Detroit that were solved? I bet you it's under 20%. So the idea that they're like throwing everybody, actually the opposite is the problem. Black people are victims of crime, and those crimes are not being solved, and so the criminals feel emboldened.
Fidel?
Jeff, you try to play words, man. You can't tell me nothing about a city that I stay in. That's like me telling you guys about St. Louis. Again, that 20%, that's probably a bold-faced lie. Y'all the biggest liars of the world, biggest murders of the world. Again,
look it up. Look it up and call back and tell us what the real number is if it's not 20%. Look it up.
Listen to me, Jeff. I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. Have some respect here. What I'm trying to tell you is we the small percentage here in Detroit. We the majority in the prison. The numbers don't lie. The guys that run the news station, that own the news station, looks like you. Understand that. Again, you ain't talking to no Martin Luther King, no Christian guy. You talk to somebody that's going to come and let you know the fact. If you so call yourself trying to hit me, I'm going to hit you back. You understand me? So watch what you're talking to when you're talking to me. Anyway.
All right, let me ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Related to what you just said is which race, by percentage, are the highest victims of crime?
We are.
All right, so which side are you on, the victims of crime or the perpetrators of crime?
I'm stuck in the middle. Y'all taught us how to murder and kill. We wasn't doing all this to us prior to y'all stepping foot on this soil.
I didn't teach anybody how to murder.
But let me ask this question. Hold on. Let me ask this question. You talked about you gave us the scenario of the young girl, the baby, the young lady, the mom leave the house, and the kid accidentally moved something and fell down, I guess in the basement where it was flooded in water. Two things I need to ask you: how old were these kids that was at home by themselves? How old was the mom?
DJ, give or take, the little girl, let's say anywhere between 5 and 8, and there was a little older kid. I don't think it was a teenager, maybe 10, 12, 13 at the most.
Okay.
Give or take now, because this an old story.
Okay.
They're old enough to watch them, but still immature enough not to watch them thoroughly like an adult would.
Okay, let me say this before we go to break. And I'm going to be just straight up brutally honest with you. I don't have a problem, this lady, they sending her behind in jail. That's irresponsible to leave your baby, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old at home with a 5-year-old to babysit, and you have to go somewhere. That's irresponsible. And then the kid accidentally moves something and fall and die. That is just unheard. It just hurt me to hear that. So I don't have a problem with they putting their ass in jail for that. I have a problem how the judicial system has treated us unfairly on other cases. Big man, we about to take a break, Fidel. Hey, Fidel, holler at me tomorrow, man. Thanks for the conversation. The big fella, the coach, the Hurricane, all y'all, we buckle up, baby. We in the Motor City. Right back.
Are you looking for a great deal on advertising? Here at 910.
All right, you got some more calls in the queue.
Okay, what we got, big dog?
Redbone.
Weeks, then you do the hokey pokey and
What?
you turn.
That is ridiculous. I'm calling A&B Motors.
You need to drive today? Call me first at 586-445-1600. My name is Al Tiano, and I'm from A&B Motors at 12 and a half Mile Road in Gratiot in Roseville, and 225.
Hey, DJ, say I still got Marathon connected, so if you want to check back with him, you can.
Okay, I'll check with him first.
Okay.
Thank you. Immediate delivery.
Cousin Jimmy here. There's no need to wait. I can get you approved for auto finance in just 3 minutes. If you have bad credit, I've helped thousands of people, and I can help you too. Just call us now, 586-445-1600. Go to my website, abmotors.biz. 3 minutes, and you're in.
Man, I love this song. Welcome back to Welcome back, the big fella, the coach, Demetrious Johnson, the Hurricane. Hey, man, I love this song. This brings me serenity and peace in my life. When I'm going through something, Jeff and JC, I try to be, we are one. But it ain't happening, Playboy. It ain't happening. So let's get down to business. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. Boy, I love that dude, Michael, man. Michael's the baddest. I mean, the baddest board up in the business, y'all. I love that dude. Hey, let me say, Jeff, let me give you something before we go. Our lines is just lit up, man. Okay, Detroit. They had 327 homicides in 2020. Up, is that 191? I mean, it's up 19% from 274 the previous year. Okay, 2020 is the highest in 50 years in St. Louis, right? In St. Louis, guys, we had 260 homicides in 2020, 87 murders per 100,000 residents. That is the highest record since 1993. Most murders since 1993, which was 69 per 100 resident in 1993. Right. So per 100,000 residents. Okay, Detroit murder in 2010 and 2017. Let me go this. Detroit, okay, murder 46% blacks. Right, 46% arrested, and the arrest was made. It was 2,248. Hispanics, 46 murders. Whites, 209 murders. Asians, 9 murders. Arrests, I'm looking at this. I'm reading these numbers. Hold on. So the arrest, it was 67% rate. Arrests made in white murders. 60% arrests made in white murders. Of 209, it was 66% of the cases was arrested. Let me tell you.
And how many for black victims?
46% for black victims. And look at the numbers, though.
There you go.
Let me say what the astonishing numbers are. There was 2,248 black folks murdered. Okay? 46% arrest
what
made.
Period of time?
Huh? Yeah.
Over what period? Over what period?
Over what period of time? 2010 to 2017. Okay? So these numbers are all from 2010 to 2017, Jeff and JC. So you see how the gap is there, right there, so you can see the gap.
Mm-hmm.
So it was over 2,500 murders. Listen to this.
And it's kind of what I've been saying, DJ.
Yeah, listen to this astonishing number, y'all.
Go ahead.
Check this out. Over 2,500 murders, all right? Check this number out, man. 2,000 out of the 2,500, 2,248 blacks was murdered out of 2,500. God dang. Out of 2,500, 2,248, damn near 100% damn near black. But they solved, out of the 209 murders, guys, of white murders, they solved 66% of their case. 66% of those cases were solved. That's a hell of a, Jeff. I want to hear your take on that.
I know everybody wants to talk about how black people are locked up, and that's an issue, and people can take that up. It's not my issue. My issue is the carnage in the black community, and nobody seems to care. These children get murdered, old people get murdered, innocent people get murdered. No one seems to care. If you had 2,200 white people killed in Detroit, I guarantee you somebody's going to do something about it. So if Black Lives Matter, they certainly matter when a cop is a vigilante and murders a black person. But it's also true for those 25 or 2,200 black people who were murdered, and nobody seems to care.
JC? Boy, we're going to have this phone blopping in a minute, Jeff. Oh, my God.
Well, I'm
fine. People don't care.
No,
People don't care.
no, I got it. No.
I'm agreeing with Jeff.
Jeff, we on your team, Jeff. We agree with this. Because
No,
no matter, hey, Jeff, listen to this, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, check check this out, Jeff and JC, before you make your comment. The number's not lying. The numbers don't lie. Okay, what we say? What are the numbers?
Right.
Call me, Detroit. Tell me the damn numbers. Go ahead, JC, before we go to the phone line, because we are loaded tonight, y'all.
Yeah. You look in the black community, the murders are not being solved. There's not a push to get the murder solved. You know what I mean? Me and DJ talk about it all the time. Protecting the witnesses, people that know stuff, are not coming forward because they're afraid. They're afraid to come forward.
No doubt.
So a lot of the crimes, you're right, Jeff. A lot of the murders are not being solved. You're right.
All right, man. Let's go.
Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily. I think it's complicated. I don't necessarily blame the community as much as I blame the cops. I mean, everybody thinks that inner city black neighborhoods are over policed. I would argue they're under policed because the police don't care.
I think they're under policed, Jeff, in terms of. Go ahead, JC. Go ahead.
My thing was this, though, Jeff and DJ. See, the community has to care because then when it's your family member, you want the community to care. You know, we see it all the time. You know, it's them today, but it's me tomorrow. So we all got to care. Everybody's got to care.
It's no different from the young lady, the young man, the 25-year-old young man and his 7-year-old daughter get murdered in St. Louis. I mean, they shoot and kill him and his kid. What I got to do, folks, I'm gonna get some old gangsters that I know that's been locked up, doing all those kind of things, because it ain't no rule in the game no more. See, back in the day, it was rule in the game. You don't kill the kid, no kids. You don't kill no mom, no wife, no woman. But let me say this, y'all. They're killing the kids and they're killing the woman. But I got to say this. There are women who's out here as treacherous as the men. They're just as treacherous as the men. But not all these women. They don't deserve to die like that. And these babies never deserve to die. Never. They ain't got no rule in the game.
DJ,
go ahead, Jeff.
You want to talk about white privilege? Let me tell you, I'm kind of take exception sometimes to the term white privilege because I think it's more
it's white privilege, but go ahead. Go ahead, it's white privilege.
Whatever. But one area that there is 100% white privilege is my literal chances of being murdered. I have a much, much greater chance of winning the mega ball lottery than I have of being murdered. I don't have to worry about it. Now, you tell me, as a professional black man, do you at least have to look over your shoulder, maybe even pack?
Do we carry? I carry. Yeah, I carry.
Yeah, I don't carry. I don't even have to think about carrying. There's almost no chance that I'm going to be murdered. It's not something that I have to worry about. And so that is, if you want to talk about white privilege, the fact that black people have to worry about getting shot and white people don't, I mean, that's a big difference right there. And we got to care about this. People can disagree tactically about what we do about it, but we got to make this a national priority, particularly these children who are getting shot up.
No doubt. All right, let's go. Y'all ready to go for the phone line? Because they lit up, man. Let's go and talk to my girl, Redbone. What up, Redbone?
Hey, Hurricane Coach. Woo woo. And don't hurt him, big fella.
What's going on?
But what Redbone wants to say is, I didn't want to talk about something else, though.
You talk about whatever you want to talk about. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, what I want to talk about is the 9-year-old girl that they stuffed in that police car in the Mace. It took everything in my fiber of being to finish watching that video, because had that been Redbone child,
So bring us up to speed on what happened, Redbone.
Oh, you ain't hear about that?
No, what happened?
Oh my God! All right, I forgot what city it was in, but it was a 9-year-old child who I guess got into it with her mother. She said she wanted to kill her mother and kill herself. So the mama called the police. Oh, that was a big mistake. You don't call the police, okay? You don't call them unless it's, they for after the fact. But the mother called the police. The police took the little girl, now, slammed her down in the snow, face down, handcuffed her. The baby yelling, call my dad, please call my dad, call my dad. They handcuffed this girl, like, oh, my God. They handcuffed her. Then they stuffed her in the police car, but she wouldn't put her feet in there. So the lady cop, because it was a whole bunch of them, and they was all Caucasian, okay. So the lady cop, was trying to play good cop, but the guys were, they were tired of her. So they were like, go ahead and mace her. So they maced the girl. She handcuffed. They done maced this child in the back of this police car.
Wow.
For real? So then they take her to, I don't know if they took her to the hospital or they took her to, anyway, but she was free after that. But do you know what kind of stigma that, because I remember, look, and Redbone gonna tell you, I'm a reformed thug, okay? When Redbone went to jail for 72 hours, look, either, and I went to jail on a Friday, okay?
Yep.
So look, well, you know how that goes. So I'm sitting up listening to all these stories and everything. But anyway, either you don't mind going to jail, or jail ain't for you. It ain't no way in hell Redbone going back. So either you gonna like it, or you can deal with it, or you not, and you ain't never going back. But when I saw that, I was incensed because, and as a mother, how could she let them do that to her child? We all would have been. It would have been a brawl.
See,
okay?
but let me say this. That kid is 9 years old, right? The little girl.
9.
Okay, I want you to hear.
9.
I want you to hear what I'm about to say. You might not like what I'm about to say, but I blame that mama and that daddy for that one. The mama and the daddy dropped the ball because obviously when that kid was young, she had no respect for the mama nor the daddy. Because she felt she can do and act out whatever she wanted to. Even if she have some mental issues going on, they needed to get her help early in the stages of the game. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case...
It's going to start that child for life.
No. Listen what I'm saying. I understand that. I'm not saying what happened was right. I did not say that. What I'm telling you, we got to look at the beginning of that issue, what happened. See, we always overlook... Listen to me, Redbone. We overlook the results of what we're seeing now. That 9-year-old girl didn't just start acting out at 9 years old. It's cute when a kid, they cute when the girl tell her mama, shut up, I ain't doing that. Oh, that's so cute. When she 1 or 2 years old, I knocked their ass out. I knocked my daughter or my son's ass out. They talk that way to me at 1 year old.
You don't think you a lie?
Say what?
You don't say what? Because you done heard me.
What? Right.
I'm saying, like, when the child tell you a lie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a whole misunderstanding.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. See, so what we see is a result of non-parenting. That's the coats of it. Let's talk about not what we just saw, but how did it get to that point? It got to that point because of non-parenting.
And this is what I want to do, and we're going to tie, and that's what I wanted to do and bring that into, like you talking about, the murder rate. The problem is, okay, number one, no respect for each other, and the nuclear family has been decimated. I can't, like my son, I was fortunate because I had the village, okay? And I had, my ex-husband, and you know what I mean? I had my dad, and I had a village.
Right.
So my sons, they're good, And my daughter, she's on track to be a nurse. So, I did a good job. But we also had the man there because your first interaction, even as a little girl, is with your father. Your father is who teaches you how to really, what to deal with when you're dealing with a man. So the daughter, girls and boys need their mother and they need their father. Even if they're not in the home, they still need that unit. Because that is the problem with people now. I don't know like what the murder rate was back in the 70s when I was coming up, but I just remember when it was time to fight. You know how you would go shoulder to shoulder and walk in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was when it was time to scrap.
I know that's right.
Nowadays, I mean, it's like they bring in a gun, and over some silly stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it is terrible. This murder. And let me tell you something, Redbone, before we let you go. Okay, I'm gonna get you this, babe.
Don't let me go.
I'm just for the night. I'm gonna get you tomorrow night because you know what, Redbone, you my girl, right? When I come to Detroit, I'm coming to see you. I'm just letting you know that. All right, here you go.
Oh, you let me know. I'll be there.
All right, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let me. Jeff sent me a very interesting piece here from the Metro Times. Okay, in Detroit, white people killed in Detroit more likely to have case solved than black people. Analysts find, and it was a case of a gentleman being stabbed to death in Eastern Market on May in 2014. Right, so the suspect was arrested by the Detroit police and charged first-degree murder within 6 days. Within 6 days. Within 6 days. We ain't solving damn murders in black communities in 6 years. One person.
Wait, hold up. But hold up. Check this out, though. Like a lot of Caucasian people now have moved to, downtown and midtown, which is the Cass Corridor.
Right.
Okay. People are still, these two white girls got beat up and robbed. And they were on the news, and they had it all on the news and everything, giving a description of who to look for and everything. Now, look, the Cass Corridor, I ain't even going to tell you all that what I was down, okay? When I was in school down there.
Okay.
But, I was just like, oh, really? So now they putting, if you're, I guess, I hate to say this, but yes, you do have white privilege. It doesn't matter.
It's white, but Jeff knows his white privilege. He knows that. Jeff is a smart man, and he can handle his own. Hey, Redbone. Hey, babe, I got to get ready to let you go, beautiful, to tomorrow, right? Because I got
let me say this.
Go ahead, babe.
Let me say this, though.
Go ahead.
I really believe that sometimes, like, white people, especially cops and stuff, really still see us as 3/5 of a human being. I don't think they even
I don't know if they don't. I don't. Hey, Redbone, let me say this, baby. I don't know if they believe that we're 3/5 of a human being, but I believe they have no respect or love for us. There are some racist ass white cops, and then there's some old bigoted ass black cops who want to prove to the racist white cop that he's his friend. That's what I'm telling you. All right, hey, Redbone, make sure you call tomorrow night, okay?
Okay, bye, boo.
All right, bye, baby. Nice talking. That's my girl, man. I got a new girlfriend, y'all. That's my girl, Redbone's my new girlfriend. All right. Hey, Michael, we ready? If we ready,
go for it.
Let me go Brooks, man. Let's bring Brooks in. Let's go, Brooks. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going? Excuse me, DJ. What's going on, my brothers? Blessings, man. You got a high show as usual.
Thank you, my man.
And you know what, DJ? And what's the white guy's name that's on your show?
Jeff.
Jeff, man. Thank you, Jeff. Listen, man. I know. What I'm saying, that you have different views, just like we all have in life. But thank you for just standing up, man, and preaching truth to power, because you don't have to do that, and you do, and I'm sure you catch a lot of flack for it. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, DJ, is that, man, it starts with us, man. When I was growing up, DJ, I'm 55 years old. I come from one of the roughest parts of the west side of Detroit that it probably is, okay? And I'm not going to say I was in a gang, but guys in my neighborhood, we call, I just say a clique, okay? And what we did was we didn't tolerate certain things that went down in our neighborhood. Wasn't going to be no robberies of seniors. Wasn't going to be no robberies of women.
Right.
Rapes.
Right.
Wasn't going to be no home invasions. None of that wasn't going down, man. We had some young guys, man, in the early 90s when crack was just plaguing our neighborhoods, robbing people. Robbing people broad daylight, okay? It was 3 young men, all right? We knew who these young men were. See, one thing about in our community, we know who's doing the crimes. We're just afraid to step up. That didn't happen when I was coming up, okay? Me and my clique, say about 7 of us, got together because one of the guys robbed one of my best friend's grandmother, okay? Hit her in the face with a pistol, all right? We said, this got to stop. we got with them young men, okay?
Right.
We got with them. Thank God they didn't get murdered. One of them wound up getting killed, not by us.
Right.
But we ran them young men out of our neighborhood, and we didn't have that problem no more.
Right.
And see, it starts with us, man.
I agree.
See, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we'll turn the other cheek. I saw a young lady get, a senior, guy was just choking her. Everybody on the bus just stood there.
Wow.
And I understand. Sometimes, you know, you're afraid. You know, but you think Dr. King wasn't afraid when he got shot in the neck? He knew he was about to get killed.
Yep.
You know, you can't say, oh, we don't have any more leaders. What you doing?
I know that's right.
What you doing to be a leader? What are you doing to stand up in your neighborhood and say, hey, man, enough is enough?
Hey,
when
Brooke,
you know something is going
let me hit you with this before we let you go because we've run out of time, man. And you got to call. I want to finish this conversation with you tomorrow. You need to call in early. We're going to take this early tomorrow because let me tell you something. How many white folks, Jeff, let me ask you this question, Jeff. I want you to answer this before we let Brooke go. How many white folks said, that's our leader? This white guy's our leader. We ain't talking about the president of the United States, none of that. How many of you guys identify a singular person as your leader, Jeff?
You mean as a white leader, a leader of white people?
Yeah, just a leader of white people.
Yeah, unless you're like a white supremacist, nobody.
That's what I'm saying. We're the only ones to elect somebody say that's our leader. We don't get in it and try to be leading ourselves and try to make everybody better rather than depending on one person because guess what? But Jeff, and you know what? And I'm not giving us no excuse on this, but I want you to follow me on this, big fella. All right, Jeff, follow me on this, Hurricane. You guys coined that phrase, they're leaders. He's the leader in the black community. I have never heard you, Jeff, say nobody was a leader in your community. Ever. As long as you and I have been boys. Never heard that.
Yeah, and you never will.
That's what I'm talking about. Because white folks don't do that.
Again, but so...
Hey, Brooke, hold up, Jeff. Hey, Brooke, thanks for your call,
yeah,
Brooke.
Go ahead.
I appreciate it, man.
I'll hit you.
Hit me early tomorrow, Brooke. We're going to be ready to rock and roll because we got a few more calls we got to get in. Go ahead, Jeff, real quick.
No, what I was going to say is that I hear a lot of they, like people say white people, like they do this, they do that. One of the other parts of white privilege is most white people don't think of themselves as being white people. It's one of the privileges of being white. You're not self-conscious about it.
So what do you think?
Most people.
So what do you think? What do you call yourself? Just an American?
Well, first of all, I'm a little bit different than most people. I'm a little bit of an individualistic person, but I would call myself a dad first, a Christian second, an American third, and all of them tied together.
Well, I can say this: you're a hell of a dad. You're great. You're a great dad. You're a great husband, but you're a jerk as a friend. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Let me bring my man Brian in. What up, Brian?
Yeah, I want to see if Jeff phone is gonna mess up and if he's gonna disappear.
No, he ain't gonna. Hey, let me tell you. Hey, let me make this clear, Detroit. My boy Jeff got some balls. He can stand on his own.
Hey, guys, I used to be in the government, and I cut the firefighters' pension and thought for 2 years my house would get burned down, and it never did. So I've been through worse than this.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brian. We got a few. We ain't got that many time. We ain't got that much time, Brian. We got to go.
Okay, real quick. He never answered my question on the land contract, and it was a couple other things he didn't answer because y'all remember he didn't answer. He didn't come back from the phone. But as far as the white man thinking he owned his country, I want to know what the land contract is, Jeff. I also want to know, we talked about the Declaration of Independence just being some of y'all laws, but I just want to know where you don't think that y'all have white privilege and they don't think that they do, because I see it in here, and I'm in Novi, brother, and it's a suburban area, and I tread lightly, but I'm telling you, they know not to mess with me. I got a shoebox of court cases, but I'll do it like this, Jeff. Tell me who owns the deed and the title of the United States, and it's not the white man.
Hey, Brian, thank you. Hey, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Wait, I don't know what he's getting at, so I don't know the answer to that.
Well, he just asked you a question. What do you mean getting that? He just asked you who owned the deed.
He asked me who owns the deed
of the United States. He said you don't know.
There is no such thing.
How you know what he's getting at? I mean,
that's what I said.
All right.
That's what I said.
I don't know if it's such thing or not. We'll ask him again tomorrow.
I don't know what he. Yeah, I don't.
All
know
right, we ain't got no more than a few minutes. Then we got three.
We got the deed to my house.
Hey, Jeff, we got a lot of callers. Let's go before we get out of here. Let's go to Brother Ray. Brother Bay, what's up, Brother Bay?
Yeah, I'm calling from Flint, Michigan here.
What up, boss?
And I think the governor going to get some more charges. He might not go to prison, but when everybody get downtown and they put all that time on them, they're going to tell it all, just like these gangsters do. See, a lot of these young brothers get the wrong idea. They get an idea from watching too many of these gangster movies and these Italian gangsters, and they all snitch on each other. Sammy the Bull told on John Gotti. He got 10 years in prison. He's on YouTube selling books. He killed 19 people, and he's out free. So, everybody know if you testify for the government, you can, if you're Italian or whatever, you can be on YouTube selling books and just bragging about all your killings. How many black men got out of prison, testified for the feds on YouTube, telling how many people they killed? Not too many. But, I think a lot of this stuff started at home. If you see one of your child with an AK-47 in the house and you know he got a felony and he didn't buy it, he shouldn't even be in your house. I wouldn't allow to have nothing in the house but a shotgun, and that's for hunting. And the reason the crime is because nobody wants to testify, and when you're dealing with killers, you got to be a killer yourself.
I know that's right.
If you ain't willing to kill and defend your household like the ones shooting in your house, then that's what's going to happen.
Hey, man, do this. Hey, Brother Bay, do this for me tomorrow, all right? Call me tomorrow, man, because we got about 4 minutes to go. I got another call. Okay. I want to talk to you tomorrow.
Let me ask Jeff one more.
Yeah,
question.
Go ahead.
Do he got any Italian or Irish ancestry?
Jeff?
No, I don't. I do not.
Okay, just curious.
All right,
I know about Sammy the Bull, and that he did rat out John Gotti.
Hey, Brother Bay, make sure you call tomorrow, man. Cause I want to touch on what you said today. We're gonna touch on that tomorrow. Man, you're gonna have a good conversation about that tomorrow. So I want you to lock it in. All right, Brother Bay. Thanks, man. All right, let's go to my man Jack. What up, Jack?
Jack's gone. Go to Pianki.
Pianki? Let's bring my boy Pianki in. What up, Pianki?
What's going on, Mr. DJ? How you doing?
What's up, big fella? My man, what's going on?
I have to kind of push back on you when you say that these things don't happen in white community. The problem is you just don't hear about it.
Okay.
And in the industry that I'm in, I work with whites from Peevely, Sullivan, from Arnold, Peevely, and those things do happen. They just don't talk about it. White police go in there and kick ass and put knots on heads. They don't complain like blacks do.
But no. But white police ain't going in there shooting unarmed white guys in the back. Ain't shooting white kids in the car unarmed. It ain't happening. That ain't happening. It ain't happening, Pianki. It ain't happening, Pianki.
For 4 decades.
Okay, Pianki. Let's say this. Okay. Let me say this, Pianki, because we're running
out of time.
Yeah, we run out of time. Let me say this before you go. Let me say this.
Here, let me comment on this.
All right, go ahead.
Collins talked about the solving of crimes, and I've been keeping track of Chicago. In 251 days since Memorial Day, you don't have 3,580 blacks shot by other blacks. No police department can keep up with that. That's about 1.7 per hour.
Hey, Pianki, do this. We about to
keep up with something.
All right, we're running out of time, man. So let's call back tomorrow. I'm gonna finish our conversation tomorrow. All right, Pianki, make sure.
Okay.
Please do. Thank you. That's my good friend Pianki. Hey, Mike, do we have Bruce still there?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go to Bruce, and that's it.
Minutes.
Our last call, Bruce. We got about 2 minutes, Bruce. What you got?
Doing, brother? Yeah, you got me up against the wall. But look, it is white privilege. What it boils down to is a basic quality of life. Genocide is socially engineered. It's the difference between the have and the have-nots. And I do have a problem with the prosecutor going to prosecute that lady for that baby. That wasn't gross negligence. And what they charged that governor for trying to save money and steal money is with misdemeanors, gross negligence, where he impacted people with that lead that's going to have a rippling effect for years. And my opinion about the police chief, I met that brother when he first came here in the restaurant, and I don't know him personally. I just met him. But anytime a black man condone facial recognition and is 70% inaccurate, then who team is he really on? So it is. It's a basic quality of life issue because what white folks will do, they ain't going to jack you for no gym shoes or no sunglasses, but they will gentrify your city. They will go and over country, spread democracy, and end up stealing your country, and they will steal your 401k. So it's basically a quality of life issue. So it ain't like, oh, like they're doing so much better and he doesn't have to watch over his shoulder. No, you don't, because your people didn't rape, stole, and pillaged their way up the economic chain. Now they're sitting back with their arms folded as if honor and fair play is the soup of the day. Genocide is manufactured. It's not giving people what they need to survive as basic human beings.
Hey, let me do this. I'm going to let Jeff finish out this conversation, and then we're going to go. Go ahead, real quick, Jeff.
Yeah, if you let people get away with murder, they're going to murder. So Beyonce said there's all these shootings in Chicago. If people think they can get away with shooting, they're going to shoot.
All right, so what we going to – hey, Bruce, this is what I'm going to do. We ain't got time for me to rebuttal and talk. Well, not rebuttal, but respond to what you said. I appreciate what you're saying. You're 100% right. See, I think in this case here, guys, and I really believe this, whites don't realize it's privilege, right? You know why? Because it's normal. See, your norm ain't privileged. Your norm is what you do and what you're accustomed to doing. That's what we don't
DJ,
understand.
There's one.
Go ahead,
I didn't
Jeff.
know you wanted me to comment on his stuff.
Yeah, I did. I want you to. Go ahead.
Well, when he says they, that's part of white privilege. Is there is no they.
But Jeff, let me say this. When we Jeff, let me say this.
There is no conspiracy.
Okay,
it doesn't exist.
When we say they, we're referring to white folks, Jeff. Without saying white folks, we say they. That's what most people say.
Conspiracy.
Okay. All right. Hey, let me go ahead and let you get your close out, Jeff, and JC, you take yours, and we up out of here.
No, I think.
Hold on, Jeff. JC, go ahead, Jeff.
Yep, sorry, JC. Yeah, I think the issue of the day is
Go ahead, JC.
Hey, good show, man. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, now I'm going to change my closing comment to I can't wait until we're all in the studio together so we don't talk over each other.
JC.
Yeah, good show, DJ. We got to get this epidemic in our community, man. We got to get better, man. This crime is off the charts, man. That's the number one epidemic in our community, man. This crime, these murders.
All right, well, let me just say this, guys, in Detroit. I appreciate you guys listening to it. It's truly an honor and a blessing. I say this every time on because I don't take it for granted. I don't take for granted you guys take time out of your busy schedule to listen to us and to watch us on Facebook. It's truly an honor and blessing that you let me come into your household for 2 hours. Thank you for that. But I'm going to say this to you. We're going to keep it real, and we're going to be candid, and we're going to have a great conversation with you. May not like what we say. You may do. It doesn't matter. It's our opinion. And most of the time, we're going to talk factual, not opinions. Jeff is our friend. JC is my friend. Everybody that come on here, I'm truly honored to have them being a part of my team. Thank you, Michael, for doing a great job once again on the boards, keeping us right and keeping us sounding good. Hey, folks, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going off the air on 910 the Superstation. But you can come on and go to the Demetrious Johnson page on Facebook. I'm going to have an interview with a lady whose son was murdered and her granddaughter was murdered at 7 years old. The guy was 25 years old, and nobody wanted to come forward. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, this non-snitching bullcrap that's killing our community. The big fella, the coach, and from my man Michael on the boards, and all the listeners and the callers, thank you very much. We truly appreciate you. We don't take it for granted. We'll see you tomorrow at same time, same station. Lock it in. The big fella, the coach, the hurricane. Tomorrow, we'll be back. See ya.